Right guys, in this video we'll look at your paper, so it involves some triangles. You've got Pythagoras, trigonometry and a few other questions thrown in there as well to mix it up a little bit. Alright, first question, we're asked, on a centimetre grid, draw a right angle triangle. Doesn't matter how big or how small this triangle is, doesn't matter where you draw it on it, as long as it does have that right angle, a 90-degree angle. Doesn't matter which way around it is either, again as long as it's got a right angle. And there's our right angle, 90 degrees like so. Part B, on centimetre grid, draw a rectangle with an area of 12 centimetres. There are a couple of different answers you could get here. The way I'd look at this is, if it's an area of 12, I could have 1 by 12. I could have 2 by 6, I could have 3 boxes by 4 boxes, etc. I'm going to go with 3 by 4, so I'm going to go 4 along, like so, and down 3. Again for you, you could have done a 1 by 12 rectangle, a 2 by 6 or a 3 by 4. But if I multiply 3 by 4, I get that 12 centimeters squared. So that's fine in terms of my rectangle. Question 2. We've got a triangle and a rectangle. The area of the rectangle is 6 times the area of the triangle. So before I read any more, let's find the area of the triangle, because although I don't know what I'm supposed to do here, it's very likely that I will need the area of the triangle. So area of a triangle is 9 centimeters multiplied by the 8 centimeters. Because it's a triangle, I need to divide it by 2. So it is 72 centimeters squared divided by 2, which is 36 centimeters squared. And that is area of triangle. We're then told that the area of the rectangle is 6 times the area of the triangle. So if I take the 36 centimeters squared and multiply it by 6, I find the area of the rectangle, which is 216 centimeters squared. So that's area of the rectangle. Now the question's asking me, work out the width of the rectangle. So I know that if we do 16 multiplied by the width, we should get 216. That's how the area works. Let's call the width, let's call it x. So if I do 16 times x, I'll end up with 216. Divide both sides by 16, so x is equal to 13.5. So the width is 13.5 centimeters. Question 3. This rectangular frame is made from 5 straight pieces of metal. There's nothing in between. You got a bar of metal here, a bar of metal, another one here on the diagonal, and vice versa down here. So there are your 5 bars. Nothing in between them. The weight of the metal is 1.5 kg per meters. Work out the total weight of the metal frame. So I know here I've got 12 meters. So if I do 12 meters multiplied by 1.5 kgs, that will tell me the weight of this bar down here. It's a rectangle, so this is also 12 meters. So I'll need to do another 12 meters multiplied by 1.5. We then have this 5 meter bar, and we've got another 5 meter bar on the other side. So that's 4 of our bars. We also have this bar in the middle, which we don't know the length of. But what we do know is that actually we've got a right angle triangle there. So what we'd be looking for is the hypotenuse. So my triangle looks like this. The bottom length is 12, perpendicular length is 5, and let's call this H. It's a right angle triangle. I'm missing a length, so I'm going to use Pythagoras. So it is H squared equals 5 squared plus 12 squared. H squared is equal to 25 plus 144. H squared is equal to 169, which means that H equals the square root of 169. The square root of 169 is 13. So that's the length of this bar. So the final piece is 13 meters multiplied by 1.5 kg. The total weight, I'll work out each of these and then add it at the very end, and that will give me the total. So we have got 12 multiplied by 1.5, so 18 kg. The second one is also 18 kg. We've also got 5 multiplied by 1.5, which is 7.5 kg, and 7.5 kg. Lastly, we've got 13 multiplied by 1.5, which is 19.5 kg. Showing all your workings, you're picking up marks the whole time. Finally, let's add these together. So we got the 19.5 plus 7.5 plus another 7.5 and 2 18s we have. So altogether it's 70.5 kgs. Anytime you see a right angle triangle hidden in something, more than likely it's going to be Pythagoras or SOHCAHTOA that you're going to use. Question 4, we've got a right angle triangle. We've got 2 of the side lengths, as we can see. We're asked to calculate the length of XZ. So it's this length here that we're looking for. It's across from the right angle, which means that's the hypotenuse. So we're going to use Pythagoras. H squared equals O squared plus A squared. H we don't know. O, doesn't matter which one O is and which one A is. Let's say this is O. 1.35 squared plus 3.25 squared. It doesn't matter which one is O and which one is A in Pythagoras, because O squared plus A squared would be the same as A squared plus O squared. There is no difference there. Right, we've got 1.35 squared is this. And lastly, 3.25 squared is this, 10.5625. Absolutely no rounding at the moment. We'll do that at the very end. So add these together. So H squared is equal to 12.385. Last step, we need to square root that. And there's our answer. H is equal to 3.519232871. But the final part of the question did say to round to 3 significant figures. So we're going to take this answer and find the third significant figure, which is 1, 2, 3. Underline the 1 and circle the 9. So H is equal to 3.52 meters. Question 5. So again we get a right angle triangle. This time we're asked for the length AB. Let's call that X because I don't know what it is. But I only have one of the sides. I'm also given one of the angles. So that means I need to use SOHCAHTOA. So silly, old Harry, caught a herring, trawling off America. We do need to be very careful when we name the sides when it comes to SOHCAHTOA. So across from the right angle, we've got the hypotenuse again. We're given one of the angles, so across from the angle is what we call the opposite because it's opposite the angle that we're given. The remaining side is side A. We need to find what O is, so we're going to have to include that. So I'm going to circle it wherever I see it. We also need to use H because we know what it is. It's 16, so we're going to use that 16. So we'll circle the H. And we've got the angle, so we're going to use that as well. So I'm going to circle S, C, and T. And we're going to use whichever one of these three we've circled the most, which is this one here. So that formula is sine of 38 degrees is equal to, O needs to be at the top, we're going to call that X. Denominator is going to be H, which we know is 16. So that's the equation or the formula we need to solve. We can do that in one go on our calculator in a second. At the moment it's dividing by 6, so we're going to multiply both sides by 16. And that will tell us what X is. So in our calculators, sine of 38 is equal to this messy decimal. We need to multiply that by 16, which gives us this 9.850583605. It's asked us to round it to 2 decimal places. So the 8 is the first decimal place, the second one's the 5, so I'm going to underline that and circle the 0, and that rounds to 9.85, which to me looks realistic because it's still less than the 16. The 16 needs to be the longest side, the hypotenuse. And question 6, we've got a right angle again. We see we've got both sides and we're asked for the final side, which again is H because it's across from the right angle. So we're asked to calculate the length of that and give our answer correct to 3 significant figures. So H squared is equal to O squared plus A squared. H squared is equal to, again, doesn't matter for Pythagoras which is which. Let's say 19.3 squared plus 11.7 squared. Uh, 19.3 squared is this, 372.49, and 11.7 squared is 136.89. Add them together and that will give us H squared so that would be 509.38. Final step is to square root that. Which is equal to 22.56944.838. Always write down all the digits, guarantees you at least 1 mark on that. The final step, correct the 3 significant figures. So that's the first one, the other 2 is the second one, 5 is the third significant figure, so I'll underline that and circle the 6. So my answer becomes 22 0.6 centimeters. And that's our final answer.